Let's update our story on the Affluenza teen, Ethan Couch. The backstory on this is that Ethan Couch is this Texas teenager that used, quote, affluenza as his defense in a fatal drunk driving crash 2 years ago, where his driving killed 4 people. And he pleaded guilty to 4 counts of intoxication manslaughter causing serious bodily injury. But because of his age, he was not certified as an adult for trial. And a judge sentenced him to in juvenile court to 10 years probation and a short stint in rehab, saying that, listen, his parents are so rich, right, that they're affluent to a degree that they shielded Ethan Couch from understanding the consequences of his actions. In other words, by virtue of being raised by a rich family, we couldn't reasonably have expected him to know that his actions could have these drastic consequences, so that his sentencing should not be as severe. Now, recently, he and his mother disappeared after Ethan Couch failed to appear for a December 10th meeting with his probation officer. A warrant was issued with his arrest, and he has now been apprehended in Mexico along with his mother. They were detained yesterday around 6 p.m. Central Time in Mexico. And this is just an insane story. And some people are writing saying, see, he should have gotten a harsher punishment to prevent him from having fled to Mexico. That's the wrong angle. The harsher punishment should have been independent of whether there was a risk that he would flee to Mexico. The harsher punishment, Lewis, should have been because affluenza is a ridiculous defense.
Yeah, there should have been. What are you going to do? We've covered story after story of people with a ton of money getting away with, in some cases, murder,
yeah,
and in some cases just other heinous crimes because they are rich. It's very common.
But the thing is, usually when someone gets away with a crime because they're rich, it's because they paid a really good lawyer. Here, he got away with a crime for being rich because the richness itself made him blind to the consequences. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, I mean, that was the argument.
Yeah.
But let's face it, it's not because being rich, ultimately, it's not because being rich made him blind to the consequences. Ultimately, it's because he was rich. So sometimes it's just your influence, and it's not the amount of money you invest in your legal defense.
Right.
But anyway, yes, the penalty should have come from the heinous crime. And I mean, what's going to happen now? Is he going to spend time behind bars after violating probation?
Well, now he's violated probation as an adult, so he faces 8 years in prison. He has served 2 of the 10 years of probation, roughly, right? I mean, it's been about 2 years since the sentence. Let's go to Lewis, who is known for particularly harsh sentence suggestions on the show, even for like a crime once where someone killed some ducks, which is not to laugh off that that's not a serious crime, but I think Lewis called for 10 or 15 years in prison for that. What should be the sentence here now that he has violated probation?
I don't know, but I feel like it should make up for the last one. You know how in like a sports game, there will be a really bad call.
Yeah.
Later, the refs will realize it, and there will be another bad call to a makeup call to counteract. I think we need a makeup sentence here.
I don't know that I like that sort of paradigm for our legal and justice system, but some people have been emailing me, and clearly they do like that idea, and they agree with Lewis wholeheartedly. So we'll see what ultimately happens. Send me your thoughts about what the sentence should be.